start with that. I mean, it's not the finished article yet, but it must be nice to see things moving in the right direction and better facilities to work with.
Yeah, obviously we were a week delayed getting in here at the start of the season. That's the reason we had to go over to Bisham Abbey. And it's been a difficult pre-season, you know what I mean? You've had obviously the COVID restrictions, you've had all sorts of stuff going on at the football club, and in the midst of that, you know, obviously developing the training ground, which has been something that has been happening before I even got here, and obviously we've lived through that. And I think there has been real progress made, you know, even say in our short time here, we've gone from a porta cabin up the side there and eating food in plastic tubs and people sitting wherever they could, you know, find space really to eat food and do pre-activation and lift weights, and physio rooms in the gym. So, you know, the level of play that, you know, it was all done by the time you got to training. Everything was completed and fixed. And you know when you come to, you know, a club that was in the position this club was in when we came, that there'd be moments where, you know, if it was very easy and everything was done for us, then, you know, it wouldn't be worthwhile. So, you know, you have to accept that there's going to be rough, you know, with the smooth, and in order to be successful and be a successful winning culture, you know, you have to get through real hard moments and hardship. And as I say, if it was easy, everybody would do it, you know, and there's a reason that success is hard to attain, and there's a reason that, you know, winning stuff feels so special when you do it, and it's for these moments where you've maybe not had it how everyone expects it on the outside world, and you grind through and you keep working until, you know, the momentum shifts and you start to become a successful outfit.
Is there a sort of a parallel to be drawn almost between what's going on here and moving in the right direction, hopefully, and what you're looking to do with the team, in that it's not going to be the finished product, but you're heading in the right direction?
Well, we look at it, and, you know, people sometimes miss, I think, in terms of when you get relegated, you know, the budget goes from probably, I think, 2.6 million last season. You know, that's, you know, if you look at the SCMP, when the data comes out, that's what it'll tell you. You know, we'll be probably about 1.8, 1.9 this season. So you're not only tasked with, you know, rebuilding a team that's obviously failed if you get relegated, and in the manner we got relegated, obviously that's clearly a fail for the season, and to rebuild that, you know, obviously I think we've had 20 players leave the building, 13 new players come in, new members of staff coming in, you know, to members of staff leaving, new training ground. There's a disruption to that. In the midst of that, you've got to, you know, kind of build a phoenix from the flames of what's gone before. And you know, I don't expect us to turn up at Mansfield once the ref rolls his whistle at 3 o'clock tomorrow and all of a sudden all our problems are solved. You know, that would be very, very nice. I think we'd all want that, but also we're all realistic. You know, I've been in this game a long time, and, you know, reality, you know, sets in and tells you that's not going to be the case. Everything we're going to get is going to be hard fought, going to be hard earned. And I thought, you know, last week at Oxford, you know, it's been a tough pre-season. It hasn't been straightforward for a multitude of factors, and I just felt there was just a change. You know, Brett comes into the game, Luke Thomas, you know, chips a penalty that I don't think Bristol Rovers fans have seen for a while. I don't think you've had anybody with the confidence, you know, in the midst of, you know, he's coming on a little bit of a different cycle himself, having had a great move to a championship club and it's not quite gone to plan. You know, he's moved back to a division he probably didn't think he'd play in, Luke, but he's bought right into, you know, what we're about, and he thinks this is the right junction for him. And then to not only win the penalty with, you know, his pace that I think will terrify us. You've seen a really good League One defence, so I would imagine there'll be a few League Two defences worried about, you know, Luke Thomas. But then to have the wherewithal to, you know, not panic and rush his shot and wait for the defender's contact, and then to get up, dust himself down at the Thatcher's end, and, you know, I don't think I'd have had the audacity to take that penalty on that day, and to pull it off. You know, we've seen Aguero take one not long ago, who's a mega player, and not pull it off, and it looks great, that pen, when it comes off, but you look at it right, no good if it doesn't. And to be fair to Luke, I think he just carries that, he just has that swagger. And then Brett comes into the game, you know, with Johnny on the spot, which I think the whole of the Rovers faithful have been crying out for since as long as I've read, you know, anything from them. You know, they've been crying out for a replacement for the, you know, the Clark Harris goal machine that they've had at some point, and you know, the lads who've been tasked with that haven't add that kind of tag. And I think, to see Brett do that, I know it's only pre-season, but to do that and then to back it up with the goal he scored from the halfway line, just give or take, was really a big lift for the whole group. I think it was a really positive moment in the midst of, Robbo's a good mate of mine, really good coach, put that side in the playoffs 2 years on the spin, doesn't probably get the credit he's due on the job he's done. And our lads managed to find a win, and we need to get into that winning feeling and that habit of winning games, but also knowing that League Two is a tough division and will be a cup final for everyone. I think there'll be a few teams that look at us and think that the level of expectation and performance will go up if they're playing in our stadium or if we've got them away, because of the kind of early betting odds that are in there. I think we've pegged the second or third favourites, and I think we'll be a big target for a multitude of reasons. So we've got to earn the right to be a good side. I think when the season starts, you don't just go, Bristol Rovers, they've got a big fan base and sign some good players, they're going to be a good side. It doesn't work like that. Your respect on the football field is earned via performance, and we start at one of the other favourites. Mansfield are a favourite for the division, made some good signings themselves. I know Cloughie from his time at Barton, coached against them a lot of times now, and they'll be a good side and they'll be tough to beat in their own stadium.
So you mentioned the change there, the 20 out of 13, and just as importantly what's happened sort of behind the scenes. How happy are you with where you're at going into the season?
From a team perspective, I don't think we could be happier. Pretty much all the targets that we've wanted to take, we've got. It's different calibre of player when you're preparing for League One and when you're preparing for League Two. So it's a market, obviously, that you've had to scour, and sometimes the things that you would want in a League One side, you go, okay, League Two's got a different set of problems that we need to solve, and there'll be pitches that maybe don't resemble a Sunderland Stadium of Light in at times during the season, or a Portman Road, and we have to accept that. There's going to be times where we go to stadiums and it mightn't be a footballing occasion, and we've got to go and dust ourselves down and win the physicality. League Two is a very, very physical league, and I think if we think we're just going to get the ball down and play total football for 46 games, knowing our lads, they're well aware of the task, and that's the reason we brought lads in who've had multitude of promotions. You've got a lot of lads in our dressing room now who've won promotion out of this division, won promotion out of other divisions, been in enough dressing rooms to know what good looks and feels like. And we know we're not the finished article, we know we've got a lot of improvement to do, but we feel the best is yet to come from this group. And the training ground, I think, is a kind of testament to that. Every day it gets better, and we're finding that with the team and with the group and with the players. Every day it's getting better, and we know it's not perfect, but also we're all prepared for the hard work, and again, really excited and looking forward to the season. I don't think there's a better time. It's like Christmas Eve for kids when you're a football man and a football person. All you ever dream about and think about from as long as you can remember is football. The opening day of the season is the greatest day. The fixtures coming out, I think every fan gets, we know where we're going to be for the Boxing Day games. You look at the list as a fan, but I think for football people, the pre-season is just a ticking. You want to get through it, no injuries. You want to get through it, getting a few bodies into you, building that, freshen it up. You want to get through it with an optimism, and then reality kicks in now, and the kind of moment of truth is, tonight the butterflies will be there for all of us about what the possibilities could be this year, and we could be on the cusp of a great period in Rovers history, because it hasn't been that for the last couple of years, and we're really hoping we can get some smiles back on faces. Obviously we've got crowds back in stadiums now, which I think is a massive boost for everybody, and to see the travelling gas heads getting across there, because I know it's not easy to get to Mansfield, but to see them get over there and support the team, and as we spoke about multitude of times last season, we want to give them a team that they can be proud of, that they can go and follow, go up and down the country, and know that the team that takes the park with them and pulls on the quarters is going to fight tooth and nail to get the best results on the day. And I think I could stand behind this group. There was times last year I couldn't really stand behind the group and say that openly and honestly. It was very, very difficult, but I truly think I can stand behind this group today and say these lads won't let you down.